That's my shadow. Let's see what we got. A little bit lower. Okay. Again, that's my shadow. And that's where we should go. Yeah. Okay. The title of my live show today would be The Failure in the Philippines. It will remain that way, and unless things change. The first thing I would like to mention is you have a president elected, vice president elected, and ever since I've known the president and vice president should be working in tandem. It is only the first I find out that vice president fights or even contradicts the president. I do not understand. And then to appease vice president, vice president is given a departmental uh, duty by Department of Education secretary. This is a bull crap shit. You're already vice president. You already have a big responsibility as being a vice president, supporting the president, and not only that, you have to assist the government is doing side by side with the president. But no, the vice president has to double dip, even though you don't get remuneration from both, it's still double dipping. And I find that ridiculous. They should at least give the vice president and the president more respect to their office, not fighting, not politicizing. But even though they're still far away from the big, election, they are already posturing themselves. And defeats focus on the job first, making sure that the government works, making sure the infrastructures are being made, uh, everything from health, from defense, international or local defense, from education. There's a lot of things to do in education, down to the curriculum, down to the testing, down to the teachers, down to the classroom, down to even, in the far-flung areas, the barrios that don't have, means of transportation. They must be served too. They're part of the Philippines. It looks like the south portion of the Philippines, like Mindanao, is being neglected by government. Or if there is a government, there's no semblance of it far-flung areas. Even in the Visayas, depressed areas that originate, they fall, is still depressed even up to this time. Because the distribution of wealth in the Philippines is imbalanced. The distribution is mainly focused or mainly concentrated in the urban areas, in the cities. And they are not dissipated down to the barrio or the city levels. But that's one thing. Okay, here's another thing. They should be, complementing each other. President, vice president, there's a job that to be done. But it appears that both of them are not working together. On the other hand, the vice president seems to be in competition with the president. That's bullshit. That should not be done. We have another thing that I have noticed too. The Philippines, I mean, the crime rate is going up and up and up, meaning they have not been able to solve problems, even if they have uh, Congress investigating all this. The teves case who massacred a rival political governor in Negros province, one of their provinces. That's a bullshit crap. They should have, you know, they have managed to arrest the minor players, but they have not been able to arrest the main suspect, mastermind of the whole thing, because it's supposedly in another state. Why don't they use their agents? Take that agent, take that suspect out of that country, and Mossad and uh, CIA would do that. They're so weak. They're only good at blah blah blah, nothing more. We have another case of a bantag thing who killed a radio personality because he was, lambasting, this bantag. He had him killed. Has not been. It's in the Philippines or somewhere, but he has not been arrested. Then there is another serial rapist cloaking as a pastor, and he has a media thing. Serial rapist, human trafficker, and the victims are, suffering every second that bastard quiboloy is still out and about and you know, affected. They said that he has a right to bullshit. The victims of that riot, a right too, and they're drowned by this public appearance and support by his own ministry. Because what, if I had a radio station too, I would create more misinformation and disinformation about the case and drown it with all the life that I can make in order for me not to be arrested. And here comes the another one that's brewing up lately. What do you call this thing? A mayor in a town whose identity is questionable. It appears that in 10 years she was able to infiltrate the Philippine system, not only the politics, but also the infrastructures of finances. It appears that this lady is probably an agent of the Communist Party of China. I don't know. I really don't care if she stays in the Philippines because they cannot make do of what she is or what she has done. Oh well, that's that's done. We have that alone. We have the economy in turmoil because of mismanagement in the Philippines. President is a dumbass that he has not. Well, first of all, this person, this Marcus Jr. thing, is a failure in life. He never had an independent mind ever since he was a kid. I remember this. When I was about 8 or 9, and he was about 11 years old. I was younger by 2, 3 years from him. And I would go to my province, and since he has to have kids his age, playmates, the associate of his mom have, they have their own minions and all that. And then it just so happened to be playing with one of their minions at the time, and the mother of my friend was a crony of the Imelda Marcos, told her son that dress up because we're going to the place of Marcos. And you will have to play with the kids over there. That was Ferdinand Jr. And since I was seeing that too, I was playing with my friend. You too, the mom, her mom, his mom said to me. So I went home. Since I have no clothes really that would fit whatever that I had put on my uniform, school uniform, like a polo shirt, white, and khaki pants, and off I go. When I went over there, I noticed that in the story short, make the story short. I noticed that when I went over there, he was being driven by a car that didn't have a sound. And lo and behold, I said, wow, that's so much hyper. This is in the 60s. So imagine myself uh, never seen something like that before. Later on, I noticed that they said, oh, that's a golf cart. That's why you didn't hear anything. And then at the end of that, I hardly played with him, with Bombo. It was my friend who was playing with him much because I'm just a tag along type of person. But anyway, somebody approached me, but I later learned that that was the security guard and told me that you go to that side because they're going to give you a fried chicken. And I never knew what fried chicken was. This is in the 60s. Never, I probably never tasted fried chicken before. This is during those days when being poor was, we were not that poor, but we just didn't eat that kind of food at that time. Anyway, I noticed three things for me. I cannot decide. He was being, pampered by all these people who are assistants. I noticed it from afar. And it looks like he had an initiative from himself that he would be, there's no such thing as, you could notice from two of my friends too, who, those two were more, more adept at being street smart than him. Bobo Marcus was like nothing, nothing special. And I said, this is later on in life. I said, what the hell was that guy was trying to prove? He was nothing. He was, and anyway, later on in life, I just noted that he went to this and that, and because now I got interested when I was already 14, 15 years old. I got interested because he was going to such universities, Princeton, Yale, and all that kind of stuff. And he even studied in England, Oxford, I guess, or whatever it was. And he would always come out with nothing. I was told that he would have security. The school was annoyed and classmates were annoyed because the security guard were outside the room or sometimes inside the room with them in class. That's kind of stupid. Then he would copy assignments. He would be absent for final tests. He would uh, literally the only good thing that he had was speaking his accent. Like I am this and that. But you can note that when even his train of thought is very flawed or stupid. Because first of all, never really graduated from any college or whatever it was. Then the second, whatever whatever credentials he had are all fake. And then there comes the other thing. That's right. The, uh, if you want to be a lawyer in the Philippines, you have to go into this test bar. It's a very tough exam. He failed. He flunked first time, and then again the second time he flunked again. What a failure he was. So just if you're a president now, knowing the kind of abilities that he has, you can be pretty assured that he has some destructive effect in what he says because he can't connect things together in a sensible way. It's probably because he was already, even before he was already using drugs. I think it was experimental. That's the word, experimental with drugs. No, I happen to talk to respected uh, politician from abroad, and he asked, "Are you Filipino?" At that time, I was still in college, I guess it was, and I said, "Yes, I am Filipino." You know what's the trouble in your country is? I said, "What is it? You have the resources, you have talents, you have infrastructure. If Toyota and Sony is for Japan, and IBM and Apple is in the United States, product of the United States, you have a tremendous, you know, uh, product. Your OFW, so you're up there. You should not be in such uh, dire country. Meaning, when I'm trying to drive this foreign politician said, you know, corruption cannot go away anywhere in the world. But the difference is, I'll tell you, Sweden, Finland, the United States, Japan, and England, they have corruption too, but it's limited to 5 to 10%. But in your country, Philippines, it's the reverse. You have 95% corruption, or corrupt people, corruption, or whatever it is. But if you bring that down to at least 60%, your country would be a power to reckon with. But so obviously, for some reason, you're honest and non-corrupt people is only about 5 to 10%. They are overwhelmed by the corrupt people, starting from your frontline employees who ask for donations, government donations for pension funds, for example, or this cup. that it's better for him to work for a crime syndicate of assassinations or kidnapping, where I would earn about 10 times or 20 times my salary for the year. So I would be better off with that. The other thing that I noticed about your country, he said, you have bright people, but they are not in your country. They go out of your country, and then what you are left with mediocre personalities that govern your country. You know, that's the reason why they are corrupt, I guess. He said, like, for example, customs, from the very bottom of the uh, custom agent employees, they have a cut of whatever incoming goods there are or applying for export thing, and then the cut from the bottom employees, from the middle, they have a cut too, and then from all the way to the top, there you go. Say for example, again, this is another story, but all my stories have foundations because it happened. Remember, my grandfather was a lawyer and passed the bar and working for the government. My grandmother was a teacher working for the government, the public school. My brother was uh, uh, a government employee too. I have a cousin, government employee. My aunt was, they were all in government. One thing is common for them, they may never work correctly because of their faith in they have the religious belief that if they do this, they're not only committing a crime, they're committing a sin, a sin from God. Well, that was God. Now, in essence, is that the corruption that starts from the very you go to an office, you have it. My father was also in with that corruption. I once heard him say that I cannot progress in my line of work if I don't give this tip for his paperwork to be, uh, taken care of for promotion. He has to give this, that, to this, to that. In other words, that if he didn't give them any gift or whatever it was, he would not progress in life. My grandfather once said that you know we were walking on the street and he said, "See that house?" I said, "Wow, that's a great house. It's concrete and all that." And now he's a government official who stole money and built everything that was supposed to build this road. So our road going to our place was gravel and never was done because he, that guy from that government official, diverted the money to his house, made it palatial and comfort and all that. It was intended for the road, to build the road, but as I said, he diverted it. My father just smiled, and that's the way your government works. Well, in any case, I've been talking too much about things that will never be, solved because of, I guess, of the corruption that people do. And finally, this foreign politician who talked to me, he said, you know, I have encountered uh, officials in your government who are trustworthy and non-corrupt, but it's only one or two, and 10 of them were corrupt. That only two of them are not corrupt. So it says things like government. I mean, if there would be any progress, if at all, corruption should be minimized to the minimum. It's like countries I told you, Sweden, Finland, United States, Japan. Even though they have corruption, their corruption is very small and not negligible. And when they get caught, usually they get long sentences, prison sentences, and that's the way it is. You know,